Hey, I want to talk a bit about a video I've just seen, a rather disturbing video. Um, the video doesn't mention this precise location, but I'm assuming it's somewhere in Guangdong province simply because I was browsing videos about Foshan, Guangzhou, and so on, and Zhongshan, and that came up, so presumably it's linked to that, but I don't know. Anyway, it's somewhere in China, that's the point. And basically, the background of the story is that a foreign man, some are saying he's American, some are saying just a foreigner, assaulted a woman. Apparently, he spat on her, and there was a confrontation. Well, basically, to cut a long story short, a riot breaks out. An angry mob surround the man. Um, Thankfully, nothing very serious happens, but it's still quite an ugly scene. I think the police intervene in the end. But I want to comment a bit about this. Firstly, I should say the video is 3 years ago. But this sort of stuff does happen periodically. Um, Firstly, education standards in China are not wonderful, so there can be that alibi, or not an alibi, not an excuse, but there can be the aspect of plain ignorance. Mob mentality is always an uncomfortable thing to watch, but a lot of people are saying underneath this was proven to be a scam. The woman bumped into him deliberately, and it was proven to be a scam. Now, frankly, call me biased, but I have a lot of sympathy for any foreigner caught up in this sort of situation in China. I've personally experienced it, not directed at me, but I have experienced mob mentality. Different circumstances, but nevertheless, the the feeling of being in a large group that doesn't really care about its consequences. I was asked to help to open a new school. Me and a few Chinese teachers were there, and we had to distribute leaflets. Well, there was no control whatsoever. The idea was that the parents were just grabbing these leaflets from us. No control whatsoever, pushing ahead. Young children were getting crushed. It's a wonder no one was seriously injured. Um, I wasn't frightened, but I was slightly uneasy about it because I was worried that one of the children was going to get hurt. That was a different situation because there wasn't a physical threat to me, but it's an example of people just being plain stupid. And this sort of thing happens all too often in China. Um, so yeah, this situation, whether the guy was innocent or not, um, clearly the mob mentality is very disturbing because it's kind of like trial by rumors, trial by, and frankly, there is a lot of people in China, a lot of people, I'm not talking about everyone, a lot of people who behave in this very, frankly, disgusting manner. But this is the thing that bothers me about it. If it was a Chinese guy accused of that, you might get a heated street row, maybe a little bit of violent confrontation. You sure as hell would not get the whole street crowding around to watch, not in the same way. So I do think there is profound double standards in this regard. Um, Likewise, if a foreign man is accused of assaulting a Chinese woman, I guarantee you the locals will crowd around. And a lot of Chinese guys will like to play the hero and jump in and try to fight the guy or whatever. If it was a Chinese guy, again, nobody cares. Now, just to be clear, in situations where foreigners do behave badly, and I know that sometimes happens, I don't condone that at all. It's wrong. If you're in another country, you should respect that country and not behave that way. But it really frankly makes me angry that there is such blatant double standards and this sort of mob mentality is just accepted. Now, if the police hadn't turned in, I don't know if the police hadn't turned up, I don't know what they would have done to the guy. I don't want to even think about it. If he was guilty, if he assaulted her, then he can face charges. But it cannot be in a situation of trial by mob justice. It's bullshit. Now, the West isn't totally immune to this, of course. In Britain, we've had situations where innocent people have been targeted by mobs, especially in paedophile. Um, when the tabloid press recklessly promotes stories about paedophile cases, that has sometimes led to mob mentality. So I'm not saying that, this isn't kind of like a white supremacist thing, like it never happens here. You get stupid people in every country. But in China, it is a noticeable thing, and it is also noticeable that the double standards are just bullshit. I see a lot of Chinese guys and girls commenting on these videos like, "Oh, foreigners behaving this, blah blah blah." But I'm thinking, well, would you have that same attitude if it was a Chinese guy? No. I've seen videos of Chinese guys doing this shit, like openly beating women in the street, and maybe one or two people will moderately intervene or tell the guy to calm down or something. That is it. So it's double standard bullshit.